"Sorry," she said to me and Patricia. "I'd better be on my way." Despite the man's impatience, he didn't hurry Dorothy once they set off, one of her arms tucked into his. "Had you met Dorothy and Willard Kerwin before today?" Patricia asked me once we were alone. "No. The poor woman has been through a lot over the past year or two. She fell off a stepladder and broke her back, and then her twin sister passed away while Dorothy was still in the hospital." "That's terrible," I said with a surge of compassion for the woman. "I think this is the first time she's participated in any community event since all that happened, so it's nice to see her getting involved." I was about to agree with her when I caught sight of my boyfriend, Brett Collins, out of the corner of my eye. I smiled and waved as he approached, carrying 2 takeout cups from the local coffee shop, the Beach and Bean. The light breeze ruffled his blonde hair as he reached the table.
"A coffee for you, Patricia,"
he said, setting one of the cups in front of her.
"And a matcha latte for you, Marley."
He handed the second cup to me. We both thanked him. Since no one was waiting to be registered at that moment, I got up to give him a hug and a quick kiss. "Did you get something for yourself?" I asked.
"Yep, a sandwich and a coffee. I put them in the truck."
"I'm guessing you have to head back to work now."
"I do, but I should be done for the day in about 3 hours.
He was on his lunch break from his landscaping work at an old Victorian mansion that would soon be opening to guests as the Wildwood Inn. Brett ran his own lawn and garden business, and the new owners of the mansion had hired him to landscape and prepare the gardens before the inn's grand opening, which would be marked by a garden party later in the month. The mansion's owners, Lonnie and Hope Barron, had spent the past several months restoring the Victorian and getting it ready for its new life as an inn. "I'll see you at home then," I said, leaning into him for another hug before reluctantly releasing him. "Hello, everyone." Brett's sister Chloe breezed over to us, her blue eyes bright. She caught sight of the cups Patricia and I held. "Drinks from the Beach and Bean? That's where I'm headed."
"That makes more sense,"
Brett said. "More sense than what?" Chloe asked.
"For a second there I thought you were here to register for the cooking competition."
"Why wouldn't that make sense?" Patricia asked as Chloe's smile morphed into a frown. Brett slung an arm across Chloe's shoulders.
"Because my kid sister couldn't cook to save her life."
"I can so cook," Chloe retorted, giving him a shove. She looked to me for support. "You make good cookies," I said. "I know that much."
"You mean the ones Jordan made for the 4th of July barbecue?"
Brett asked, referring to their cousin. "Hey, I helped," Chloe protested.
"Right. I seem to recall that you spooned the dough onto the cookie sheets and Jordan did the rest."
"I'm sure you can cook," I said to Chloe, wanting to placate her before things escalated.
"Of course,"
Brett said, trying to keep a straight face.
"She can make toast, rubbery scrambled eggs, and pasta, as long as the pasta comes from a store and the sauce comes out of a jar."
He addressed his sister.
"And what about the time you tried to cook a family dinner and nearly burned down the house?"
Chloe's gaze hardened. It was a tiny little fire, and I put it out right away. I couldn't help but laugh, and beside me Patricia was struggling to contain a smile. "You're no help, Marley," Chloe said, turning her frown on me. "I'm sorry." I quickly took a sip of my latte to keep myself from laughing again. Chloe grabbed a pen off the table. "Registration form, please," she said to me. I glanced at Brett and then back at her before handing over a form.
"What are you doing?"
Brett asked. "Exactly what it looks like." Chloe wrote her name on the form. "I'm signing up for the competition."
"Hasn't the town seen enough disaster lately with all the flooding?"
Chloe pressed the pen so hard against the paper that I was surprised when it didn't tear. "Just you wait. I'm going to make you eat your words."
"They'll probably taste better than your scrambled eggs."
Chloe threw the pen at him. He caught it right before it smacked him in the face. Chloe passed me the completed form, and I gave her a booklet. "You'll see," she said, swatting her brother's arm with the booklet before storming off, heading in the direction of the coffee shop. "Brett," I said, "you shouldn't tease her like that."
"But it's so fun,"
he said with a smile. I shook my head, and he wrapped his arms around me.
"I've got to run,"
he said in my ear.
"See you later."